Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Nicole, and I'm here to help you reconnect with your light. It's been a while since I've last posted, and I'm sure, like many of you, you've all been feeling many shifts taking place in your life, many shifts taking place individually as well as collectively. So I thought now would be a good time to restart up these readings and just help to channel through some messages for the collective and help you get a better understanding of the energies that are taking place at this time and just feel into the energy of things and hopefully give you some guidance and some clarity as to what it is that you may be feeling and how it is that you can get through these rather turbulent times. So we recently celebrated a new moon in the sign of Leo. So for those of you who are not super into the terminology of astrology, the new moon represents a time for new beginnings. So it's a time when we are invited to plant seeds of whatever it is that we wish to call into our lives. So now with the new moon being in the sign of Leo, Leo is all about charisma, is all about being out in the open. It's all about leadership. It's about pride. So in a sense, we are being asked how it is that we want to move forward, how it is that we want to set our pride aside so that we can start doing things that previously we thought might not have been good for us, but in these changing times are probably exactly what it is that we need. So Leo rules the fifth house, and the fifth house is the house of pleasures. It's the house of happiness. It's the house of adventure. It's also the house of children. It's the house of creativity. So really we're being asked to look into how can we start implementing new beginnings in each of these areas. So I've pulled some cards here to get an idea of what are the energies here for the collective. And so the first card that we've pulled here is have faith in your dreams. Have faith in your dreams. So really we're at a time where it kind of feels like the whole world is falling apart. At least the world as we knew it has definitely changed quite significantly in the past 2-3 years. And in a sense, these changes that have happened in the external, it's almost like we were given an opportunity to start afresh. Since COVID came in, it's like we were given the opportunity to have a look at our lives, take a break, and just ask ourselves, what is it really that we want for our lives? You know, many of us have been feeling that changes are necessary, and whilst many of us are quite change adverse, not many human beings like change. And so I just want to point out here that the first thing to take into account is the fact that change is inevitable. Change is the only constant that is actually always taking place in the human experience. So it's important to highlight that we're going to have to get on board with change. There are massive energetic shifts that are taking place, and I'm sure for those of you who are energy sensitive, you've probably been feeling that things are somewhat different. And I mean, we can certainly see this in the outside world with things like increase in inflation and the financial system isn't looking too good. People are worried about food shortages. So there are many things that are happening in the outside world, but in a sense, because everything in the outside world is somewhat chaotic, it's actually asking us to look inwards. It's asking us to be more focused on our individual paths and to try and figure out what it is that we actually want. I'm sure some of you have probably heard about the concept of the new earth and that shifts have been occurring since 2012. And so as we see the structures of the old world falling, we are essentially being asked to think about what it is that we want to call in to this new earth. What is this new chapter of the earth that we would like to call in? So have faith in your dreams is is really to go back and to start thinking about all the things that you dreamt about when you were a child. Most of us think that our childhood dreams are just silly fantasies, but that's simply not true, because when we were children, we were a lot more connected to our non-physical self. We were more connected to the realm of the unseen. And as children, we were a lot more creative, a lot more imaginative, a lot more sort of able to see things that weren't necessarily visible to the physical eye. And so we're being asked here to have faith in the dreams, to have faith in the things that we feel called to, the things that our heart are calling for. And even if these things don't make sense to your logical mind, it doesn't matter, because what happens is once we start listening to our intuition, once we start allowing our higher self to be what guides us, then listening to the calling of our heart and soul is really what's more important than listening to what the logical mind has to say. And if we look around us at the world today, well, nothing really makes sense. I mean, the whole world is kind of upside down at the moment. I mean, if you look at, for those of us who are here on the African continent, it's quite interesting to be looking at the news and seeing how terribly things seem to be going in Europe. And so, in one sense, here on the African continent, it's like, well, how interesting to see that now the tables have turned. So, really, I believe that more and more changes are going to keep happening both internally and externally, but we are the ones who have full control as to how these dreams might take place, or as to how these changes will take place, because we are fully in control of our journey. We are fully in control of what it is that we desire, because we have to remember that our thoughts attract our reality. So if we're constantly thinking about all the terrible things that are going to be happening, then these are the things that we are attracting to ourselves. Whereas if we are thinking about our dreams and having faith in them, then this is the energy that we are calling in. Just to highlight here that the planet of Jupiter, the planet of good luck, the planet of expansion, is currently is currently in the sign of Aries, and so luck is on our sign when it comes to taking action. So the card that we have here is a fiery climax approaches the full moon in Aries. And yes, a fiery climax is approaching because Jupiter is in the sign of Aries and is asking us to take action, or is giving us the courage we need to take action in order to make our dreams a reality. So we are being asked here to take charge. We are being asked here to fully embrace the energy that is present at this moment and to take action. And even if these things don't make sense to the people around you, even if these things that you are wishing to take action on don't make sense to the people around you, it doesn't matter. It's important to understand that the energies are supporting you on this journey. We're being asked here to look at the bigger picture. We are being asked to see things from a higher perspective. So yes, as Einstein said, a problem cannot be solved at the same a problem cannot be solved at the same problem that it occurs. So we have to take ourselves outward. We have to take ourselves out of the situation to see what is happening on a bigger picture. And so whilst, yes, a lot of us are being squeezed, a lot of us are uncomfortable, if we look at the bigger picture as to what is happening on the collective level, well, the old structures have to fall so that something new can be put into place. And so if we look at the financial system, the economic system, the capital system, the governance system, well, who really has the system been working for? Just because it is the system that we are used to doesn't mean that it is the system that needs to still be taking place. So just like once upon a time, the Roman Empire fell, the British Empire fell, ancient empires fell, once again, this is what we are seeing taking place at this moment. An empire is collapsing, and we, as the people who are in this empire, are the ones who will determine how the future will take place, because it depends on what is the energy that we are emitting, what are the thoughts that we are emitting, what is the vision that we see for the new earth that we are emitting. We have to understand that since these energies have changed, we need to start changing the way in which we see the world. We need to start stopping, doesn't really make sense, but we need to stop thinking that we are small, irrelevant beings. We are so much more powerful than we are aware. And this is what we have been programmed into believing, that what can poor old me, one individual person, do to make a change in the world? Well, what we can do is to change the vibration of our energy, is to focus on our dreams and to focus on the bigger picture and to take action into making our dreams a reality, in order for us to bring in this new chapter, in order for us to allow this new earth to come through. So we are being asked, what is it that we need to release? What is it that is holding us back? And well, what is holding us back is our mindset. Many of us feel that we cannot do something because we believe, we tell ourselves, I'm not good enough, or society continues to tell us, I am not good enough, you are not good enough, or if you do not fit within these certain boxes, then you simply are not good enough. And so we are being asked to release the previous beliefs. We are being asked to release the previous patterns. We are being asked to look at the world in a different way. We are being asked to focus on all the things that are no longer serving us and to simply let them go. So this could be thought patterns. Maybe you have a tendency to believe that you are not good enough, that you do not have what it takes in order to make your dreams come true. And beautiful souls, I just want to tell you that this is not true. We are powerful, powerful, powerful beings when we can begin to understand our energy, when we can begin to understand our energy and to not be wasting it and spending it on the wrong things, such as thinking, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, but to spend our thoughts and energy on focusing on all the things that we can accomplish and believing that we have what it takes in order to make these dreams a reality. So I'm going to ask you to start looking into your life and to start paying attention to what are the things that are not serving you. This could be relationships, this could be partners who do not allow you to become this new version of yourself. This could be friends who do not understand what it is that you want to do. This could be family who are not supportive in this dream that you are trying to make a reality. So perhaps it is a job that is not making you happy. I mean, if you wake up every day feeling miserable and that you hate your life, then there's something that can change. And the thing is, it's very easy for us to say, poor me, I don't have a choice, but that is not true. Unfortunately, as human beings, we have the tendency to try and avoid situations that make us uncomfortable, rather than sitting with the discomfort and telling ourselves, by being uncomfortable for a short few moments, I am now heading in the direction of what it is that I truly desire. So take a moment to think about, what are the things, people, situations, behaviors in your life that are not keeping you in alignment and that are not taking you closer to accomplishing your dreams, but keeping you in the narrative of saying, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I don't have what it takes. Remember, beautiful souls, that believing in yourself is the most important thing. So the next card we have here is tick-tock, tick-tock. And the numerology here is 3. 3 is all about communication. 3 is all about creativity. 3 is all about communicating and expressing your true authentic self. So this ties in very well with Leo, who is all about expressing their true self. It is about communication. Is it about leadership? So you are being asked to pay attention to the fact that time is running out. We are on the cusp of a major transition. And for those of you who are looking into what is happening in the world, and not just simply what is being spoken on mainstream media, but all the things that are being censored and that we're not being spoken about and we're not being told about, time is running out. Now is when the energies are supporting you to move through and to start building your dreams and to start looking at the new earth, to start looking at the new world that we are living in, and to stop focusing on the old world, because we can see it clearly. The old world is crumbling and we are running out of time. Only we have the ability to decide where it is that we are going. But we need to answer the call now. Those of you who are feeling called to follow in certain footsteps, to take certain actions, to walk away from certain things, this is a calling of your soul, and listen to it. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, I assure you 100% that your soul, your intuition will never lead you astray. So the more that you are able to believe and listen to the calling of your heart, to listen to what it is that you desire more than anything, I assure you the energies are supporting you to succeed. But first and foremost, it is super, super essential, and I know I keep repeating this, but it is essential that you believe in yourselves, because, beautiful souls, you are good enough and you do have all that it takes, because that call would not be occurring if you didn't. So the second card that we have here is Truth Be Told. Look how beautiful this is here. We have an owl. The owl represents wisdom. There is an opening of the window, and the window is opening right in front of his heart, and you can see all those hearts blowing out. And so the question is, where are you not listening to the truth of your heart? Where are you not speaking from the heart? Where are you keeping the truth hidden? Where are you biting your tongue and not speaking out? And this could be about expressing your boundaries. This could be about telling certain people around you that doesn't work for you, or if they say certain things that are hurtful, then you can let them know. The thing is, it is important for us to express ourselves. The numerology on this card again is a 5, which goes hand in hand with that 5, the 5th house of astrology for Leo. So you are being what the new moon, the energies that the new moon are bringing for you, is they are giving you the strength and the courage to speak out, to speak your truth, to embody your truth, to embody the wise owl that you are, to remove the mask, because many of us walk around wearing a mask, pretending to be someone that we are not, pretending to be someone so that we can fit into society. How many people say, when you say something that is perhaps outside of the standard norm, they'll say, oh wow, you're so weird? Or people who actually decide to do things even if it doesn't make sense to other people, most often they're dubbed weird or crazy, and that's okay. Who wants to be normal anyways? I mean, being normal is boring. So it's important to remember also that we are 8 billion people on the planet, and every single one of those human beings is inherently different. Even if you look at the astrological birth chart of identical twins, their astrology is not the same, which just goes to define that the energetic imprint of every single human being on this planet is unique and different. So I don't know why we spend so much time comparing one another when it would be like trying to compare apples and oranges. It makes absolutely no sense. Yes, as human beings, we all have 2 eyes and a nose and a mouth and a face and 2 legs and etc., etc. But no 2 human beings are the same. So it's very, very important that we start feeling safe enough to remove this mask and to fully express who it is that we are. So the next card that we have here is Loyal Heart. 2 beautiful owls again here. So there seems to be something about internal wisdom that we are not sharing. What is the internal wisdom that you are not sharing with the world? Where are you not being loyal to your heart? And interesting that we have the 2 owls and the 2 hearts here side by side. So the question is, where are you not being loyal to your heart? Where are you doing things to please others or trying to fit into society, as opposed to doing what it is that you desire, listening to the call of your soul? And the numerology here in the Loyal Heart card is an 8. 8 in numerology represents the number of personal power. It is the number of abundance. It is the number of physical wealth. So what the card is saying is that you can acquire wealth, and this is not necessarily only financial wealth, but wealth in all terms of the matter, in terms of abundance, basically, by following your heart. Anybody at this point in time who is not listening to the call of their soul, who is not listening to their heart, will absolutely fail. We are being called now to stop focusing so much on the outside world, to stop focusing so much on the material, and to focus more on what is happening inside of us. What is it that we are feeling? The point now is we can't really think through what it is that is happening because it just doesn't really make sense. There is utter chaos going on in the world around us. I mean, everything seems upside down, and there are so many things that are not being reported, but there are mass uprisings happening across the globe where people are simply not happy with what our governments are telling us, what the elites are proposing, what it is it seems that the world that we are trying to be pushed into. So it is absolutely important that we now start to feel into things and to really question, what is it that I desire? What is it that makes my heart sing? What is it that my soul is calling for? Because these are the things that we are supposed to be doing at this time. So the next card we have here is, it's time to go. Yes, it is time to walk down that road and to finally take off the mask that you have been holding and to start showing the world the new and real you. The version of yourself that you have been fearful of sharing with the world for whatever reason, because you probably believe that you are not good enough. And the fact remains is that once you believe that you are good enough, other people will start to feel that energy and reflect it back. Because what happens is the interactions that we have with people around us, people that we know or don't know, is everything is energy. And the best way I can describe this is when we're happy, people, for example, laughing is super contagious. When we start to laugh, even if people have no idea why we're laughing, they will start to laugh. But now on the flip side, when we're angry and when we're in a bad mood and when we're just a bit of a stroppy person, well, people pick up on that energy and they don't really want to be around us so much. So the thing is even if you think you're doing a great job of hiding your emotions and your feelings and you think you're doing great, people pick up on that energy without necessarily knowing it. So if you do not believe that you are good enough, then that is the energy that people will reflect back to you. But people who are super confident and express their confidence and show their confidence and don't really give a shit about what people think and say, well, what happens is people tend to respect that and say, hey, I like this person. They kind of don't give a shit about what other people think. So it is time to go. And the numerology we have on this card is 45, which comes down to a 9. And so 9 is the number of completion, but it also is the number of higher learning. It is the number of humanitarianism. It is the number of caring about others rather than just caring about ourselves. So now that we are in the age of Aquarius, we moved out of the age of Pisces, which is all about very deep emotions and very much about what we're feeling. The age of Aquarius is now about the mind. It is about using the higher mind. It is about using our intellect to be able to start determining how we can start to create a better opportunity or a better situation for the collective as a whole. So you are being told it is time to go. It is time to follow this path. It is time to say goodbye to the old version of you, the one that was all in the feelings and all in the poor me, I can't do anything about this world, to I have power in who I am, and I have power in my dreams, and the call of my soul is telling me that this is what I need to do in order to improve the experience, not for just myself, but also for the collective as a whole. So we are being asked here to be less focused on ourselves and to be more focused on how we can contribute to making the situation better for everybody who is involved. Next card here, love the colors. Higher power. Look at all that pink. Look at all that purple. This really looks like, beautiful sunsets. And so We really are being asked to connect with our higher power. We are being asked to look deep inside of us and to go past just the conscious mind, to go past the little I, and to now start connecting to the higher I, to now start connecting to that little voice inside of us that tells us we can when everybody else says that we can't. It is realizing that we have been here for countless lifetimes, sorry, also lifestyles. So I'm not sure for those of you out there who believe in reincarnation, but I'm a true believer in reincarnation and believe that we as human beings chose to be here. We chose to be here at this time because this is a great time to be alive. There are massive changes that are taking place at this time, and being able to be here and for our energy to be a part of influencing what it is that we are creating as a whole is super, super powerful. And so the number is 4 here, and 4 is all about stability. Think about it as the four walls of the house, right? So we are being asked to rethink the foundation of our lives, to rethink the structures of our lives, because in a sense what it is that we are doing here is we are setting the foundation for the new us, the new life, the new world, the new earth it is that we are creating. And we are all involved in creating this new earth, because what most people don't realize is what it is that we see happening in the collective is the manifestation of what is going on in the minds of the collective. So the more we can tune into seeing that whilst what we are seeing appears to be very negative, and remember the look at the bigger picture card, whilst it may appear that it looks like what is happening is all doom and gloom, I assure you this is happening because we are moving into a higher state of consciousness. We are moving into an improved version, because the world in which we're living, we have completely given our power away. We have given our power away towards our health. It seems that we do not think about our health until we get sick. And then rather than us actually listening to the intent and to the internal intelligence and wisdom of our body, we're so quick to go to a doctor and expect somebody who's outside of our body to tell us what's wrong with us. Surely, as we are the ones living inside our bodies, we should know better than some external person what is actually going on with us. So we're really being asked to tune into our higher power, to tune into our strength, to tune into our ability to express our boundaries, to express our truth, to be able to tell people, no, that doesn't work for me, or yes, this does work for me. And simply allow ourselves to not be pushed into these boxes and to be told, no, this does not fit in with the norm of society, therefore it is not acceptable. But that is not true, because we are now at a time where new things are evolving. So be brave and honest. The energy of the night. Yes, we're being asked to dive deep into ourselves and to really start to think about where it is that we have been letting fear get in our way. And so many of us do let fear get in our way because it makes us uncomfortable, and because, well, we don't know what we don't know, and many of us don't want to venture into uncharted territories. So we're being asked to be brave and to believe in ourselves and to be honest in what it is that we feel called to, in what it is that we are feeling driven to do, because the planets are supporting us to take that leap of faith and to trust in our dreams and to have faith in our dreams and to have faith in whatever it is that we feel is calling our soul. So the next card here is Air Guardian. Shift your perception. And that goes very much with the look at the bigger picture. And the card of Truth Be Told. If you look at the alignment here, we have look at the bigger picture, truth be told, and shift your perception. So a lot is telling us that we need to start changing the way in which we look at things. And my favorite quote is by the grandfather of quantum physics, Max Planck, who basically said when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change, which is very true because everything that we see, the world all around us, is all about mindset. It's all about perspective. If I choose to see only the negative things that are happening in the world, then that is what I will see. But on the flip side, if I choose to focus only on all the great things that are happening, and there are many great things happening all around us, even if sometimes they might seem a little bit hard to see, there is a need to shift our perspective because we've been living in a world where we're constantly focused on what is bad, what is negative, all the negative things that are happening, all the wars, all the people that are hungry, all the people who are dying. And yes, these are terrible, and I have a lot of compassion for the things that people are experiencing. But remember, we live in a world of duality where good and bad exist at the same time, light and dark exist at the same time. Everything exists, the polar opposite of everything exists at the same time. And just as there is all this darkness happening that we seem to be so focused on, there is also a lot of light that is happening at the same time. I mean, when I tune into the energies of what is taking place at this moment, I feel beauty and I feel something great that is taking place. I mean, here on the African continent, it feels like there is a revolution that is taking place. It seems that people are finally waking up and realizing, or at least our African leaders seem to somewhat be waking up a little bit more and realizing that they have been manipulated for a long time by the West. And I mean, they've definitely had their benefits in going along with that narrative. But many of them are starting to see that, we've, struggling to find my words here. But, we're starting to see that as Africans, we also need to find our voice, that we cannot continue going along as what's as usual, because well, the usual and the status quo clearly isn't working, or we wouldn't be where we are today. I mean, we wouldn't be living in a world where so many people are dying of hunger when there is an overproduction and an oversupply of foods that then end up going and being wasted when many people could benefit from these excess foods. So it's just really important to start changing the way that we're looking at the world and realizing that everything that is happening at this time is in fact happening for our highest and best interest. But it's important that we just learn to trust and to not be so focused on all the negative and all the things that we're being told on the news. Just stop paying attention to it, because I mean, some might think that by ignoring what's happening in the world, we're kind of sticking our head in the sand and pretending it doesn't exist. But my belief is, if it isn't affecting us directly, why do we even need to know about it? It simply means that our energy is continuing to drive whatever that negative experience or situation is taking place. And we're just adding fuel to the fire by thinking about it and worrying about it and thinking, oh God, this is going to be terrible. But if we just stopped buying into these things, if we stopped allowing our energy to fuel these things, then maybe these things wouldn't grow. So now it's about realizing that our energy, our thoughts, where we put our thoughts, our energy goes. And so it's realizing that our energy is powerful. It is understanding, understanding, overstanding that the way we decide to look at the world has an impact in the way the world forms. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Schrodinger's cat. And basically Schrodinger was a philosopher who said, there was a box, and if I open the box, the cat is there. But how do I know that if I don't open the box, the cat isn't there? So did the cat appear because we opened the box, or was the cat there the whole time? So it's about realizing that where we send our energy, these things grow. So, stargazer, set your sights higher. Where is it that you can start to look higher, where you can start to notice that you have been playing small, that you have been thinking of yourself as only capable of doing smaller things? The thing is, we have to remember that Jupiter is in the sign of Aries. Aries is the sign of movement. It is the sign of action. Remember the card here, a fiery climax approaches, the full moon in Aries. Aries is about taking action. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. So whatever Jupiter touches simply expands. Jupiter is also the sign of good luck. So wherever it is that we are being supported now to take action, action, but in big ways. To realize that the small little ways in which we were trying to take action is not big enough. We're being asked to go bigger. Bigger is better. Higher power, remember? We are being asked to tap into the highest energy that we can possibly imagine. We are being asked to tap into the highest possible potential that is accessible for ourselves. If you believe that you are a king, you are a king. It doesn't matter what other people think. It is important what we think about ourselves. If I want to go around believing that I am a pink dragon, then I have every right, to go around believing that I'm a pink dragon. If I am not affecting anybody else, then what does it matter what I believe? As long as we are not putting others down in that process, then believe yourself to be the most mightiest creature, the most big thing that you can possibly imagine. It is to believe that you can do the impossible, because remember, impossible simply means I'm possible. It is important to remember that you are capable of the impossible. The only thing that is stopping you is that you do not believe that you can. Let's talk about the placebo effect here for a moment. Placebo is the scientific proof, essentially, that believing is enough to heal. And so we don't, the medical industry talks about placebo all the time, but we don't break it down to the fact that just because I believe I'm getting better, I get better. So that concept works across the board with everything. If you believe that you can go out there and be the next billionaire, then you can. But remember, simply believing it is not enough. You also have to take action. It's important to remember that believing is one thing, but if we still have blockages, if there are parts of us that are still telling us, no, you're never going to be that billionaire, then of course these things will not manifest. Part of the manifestation process is first we believe, and then we let go of anything that is blocking us from believing that this thing is true. Because I can go around saying I believe a million times, but if parts of me are not believing, if every single fiber of my being is not believing that I can accomplish that thing, then it simply won't happen. And so, last but not least, we have winter, the wolf. Take care of your needs. Where is it that you have been putting the needs of others above yourself? And quite honestly, most of us put the needs of the collective, of society, above ourselves because we don't think that we're good enough. We have been told that it is selfish to put ourselves above others. But I just want to say something, is that we come here alone, we are born alone, and we die alone. At the end of the day, everybody is their individual person. Yes, we belong to a collective. Yes, we belong to a family. We belong to a group of friends. We belong to an organization. We belong to whatever group it is. But it is important to understand that first and foremost, we need to be more focused on our individual journey. I believe that one of the reasons why the world is so chaotic and so just all over the place right now is because we're so focused on what is happening in everybody else's life. If we spent less time worrying about what other people were doing and more time focusing on being a better version of us, then a lot of disputes and misunderstandings and miscommunications and arguments probably wouldn't take place. If we just spent more time focusing on how can I be better? How can I reach my needs? How can I take care of my needs and not kind of try and pawn them off to other people and make sure that other people are trying to make sure that my needs are met, then the world would be a very different place. So I just really want to highlight that it is important to focus on what it is that you need first and foremost, because if your cup is empty, then how can you continue to fill the cup for others? And remember, we are here at this time to focus on improving the situation for the collective as a whole. That is the energy of Aquarius. It is the energy of the humanitarian. It is the energy of doing things for self that improves the situation for everyone around us. So we need to stop being selfish and learn to be more self-focused in order to in order to improve things for the collective as a whole. I hope that makes sense. I know that there's a lot of words, and apologies if I speak a little fast. These messages can come in a little bit fast as I channel. So I want to pick a few angel cards here to end, to give you some just information as to what is the energies that the angels are bringing forth for you. So the first card we have here is raise or promotion. So beautiful souls, yes, have faith in your dreams. Many of you perhaps have dreams of increasing your abundance, increasing your financial standing. So it says, congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So in essence, should you follow the messages here that the cards have brought us, then the outcome will be a raise or a promotion. When we start to put our needs above everything else, and we start to trust that a higher power, to trust that the universe is here to support and guide us, then great things happen. And it can be difficult sometimes believing that some unknown force is going to bring us well wishes, but there's always outside forces that are invisible that are bringing us great things. So yeah, just keep believing that good things are coming for you, and that we didn't come here to live a life of hard work and paying taxes and, getting up and working from 9 to 5 and hating our lives and always wanting to be elsewhere. That is not what we came here to do. That is what we have been programmed into believing, but it isn't actually what we came here to do. We came here to be gods. We came here to live out. We are gods in the sense that we can literally create as we speak. We can literally create with our thoughts. But the thing is, do you believe that your thoughts are becoming a reality? And what are the thoughts that you're having? Because if your thoughts are more in the low vibrational side of things, then that is simply what you are attracting to yourself. The more you focus on all the great things that can and will come to you, then the more these things will come. So next we have bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or hike with your pet, meditate beneath a tree, garden, sit under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. Yes, nature. Nature is so powerful. We forget that nature really is what brings us everything. Every single thing that we see around us came from nature. So it's important to remember that when we spend time, and everything in nature is alive, so the more we spend time outside in nature, the more we are reminded of just the infinite potential and the vast supreme power of the universe, of the higher intelligence that guides everything around us. I mean, personally for me, every time I see a flower, I am blown away. How is it that nature, something we call dirt, that this spectacular thing can grow up through the dirt and create the most magnificent shapes, colors, and smells, and that all they do is just grow there by themselves? It's not like they're making any effort, but here are these magnificent flowers that are just growing effortlessly. So yeah, nature is powerful, and also spending time with animals and spending time with, in the world where we don't have to be so switched on all the time, is very, very powerful and helps us to remember to just kind of take things a little bit slower once in a while. And last but not least, we have clearing debts. Your self-care improves removing the heavy burden of financial and emotional debts from your life. You already feel lighter and freer just by facing this topic and making a plan to clear present obligations and avoid future ones as well. So yeah, again, just And that card kind of goes very much in hand with what is it that you want to release, because we're really being asked to let go of whatever it is that is burdening us, whatever is giving us stress. You know, sometimes we think we spend so much more time thinking about our problems than actually just doing something about it. And once you actually do, it changes the energy of things. And so at least now the energy can start to move. So just remember that self-care is extremely important at this time. It's super important that, you know, we just take the time to put our needs above those of others, and just and that also means boundaries. Saying no. If you don't want to do something, just say no. And the people who love and care for you, they, you know, maybe they'll get offended. And if they get that offended because you said no, well, then maybe that person isn't necessarily supposed to be in your life. So remember that if we stand up for ourselves and people, you know, show negative repercussions because of that, then that's an opportunity to start questioning whether that person was meant to be there and had your best wishes at heart, or perhaps not. So it's been quite a long video. I think we'll end there. Please like the video if you feel that these messages have brought you some guidance, and please share the video with those in your circle who you feel will benefit from these messages. So happy Sunday to you all, and sending you much love and strength to get through these very turbulent times, but just know that you are being supported in this journey, and things are only getting better if you choose to believe that. All right. Take care and thanks. Bye.